Hey friends, it's Christy here with Little Roots Ranch, and I don't know if you can hear the turkeys back there, and this is my wife Joyful.
Hi everybody.
And today I wanted to tell, so I know that most of my videos are garden related, and but I do have chickens and of course turkeys, as you always hear in all my videos, but I just wanted to share a funny story. So one interesting fact about me is that I love turkeys, like just absolutely love turkeys. Oh, super side note, I've got the camera like straddled to a tomato trellis and it's a little windy, so it might like kind of move around a little bit, so just letting you know, so I apologize in advance. But anyways, so I love turkeys, they're my absolute favorite, and I have a really funny story about a hatching I just wanted to share. So I wanted to make a video so that way just to share it, and I want to do it live because, you know, it's just really cute. So I have turkeys and chickens, right? And my turkey, Henny May, and so she went broody. She started laying eggs and then she went broody. And so we were collecting the eggs daily, and there were 3 underneath her for one, or like overnight and the next day or whatever. And so we moved her to a we call it a quarantine coop, but it's just a separate enclosure that's secure and all that stuff. And well, all of them are secure, but you know what I mean. And we moved her so that way, and we brought out 6 eggs from inside, so a total of 9 turkey eggs. This is important because you'll see later on there's a little bit of a switcheroo. But so I brought out, so she had 9 turkey eggs, and this was what, May 3rd?
That was May 3rd.
That was the evening of May 3rd, like 9 p.m. And so then she's just been sitting on the eggs, and we were expecting baby turkeys on the 31st, right? Yep. 31st of May. And so it seemed like a really, really long wait, but we were really excited. About 21 days in. So for those of you that don't know, chickens incubate for 21 days, and turkeys, also ducks, but incubate for 28 days. And so about 21 days, actually it was 22 days.
The math was really easy. Yeah, it was on the 24th, so I think it was exactly 21 days after we moved her.
Yeah, so I went to go, it's right by the mama turkey enclosure is right by the ducks. And so I noticed that there was a broken eggshell outside of mama turkey. And I was like, oh no. And I texted Joy and I said, you know, is there any chance that the baby was just born early and is still viable? And she said, I don't think so. And I was like, shoot, you know, and that happens. Sometimes the eggs just aren't fertile, or they just don't make it for whatever reason. So I was like, okay, I was kind of bummed. But so I fed the ducks and continued on my day. And then that evening, I saw a little baby, what I thought was a turkey, in there with mama. And I was like, oh, well, I guess whatever hatched was viable and it was coming out, you know. And so I was really excited, but we were really confused because the math didn't work out at all. Like, at all.
It was way too early.
Yeah, way too early. And so, but then I was looking, and the shell was blue. And I have chickens that lay blue eggs, but me personally, I had moved so when we moved the turkey, Joy and mama turkeys are nothing to mess with, I'll tell you what. So I had Joy move mama turkey, Henny May, and I moved the eggs. So I personally assured that there were 9 turkey eggs. So now all of a sudden I realize that there's 2 little baby animals that should be turkeys, but there's 2 blue eggs that have cracked. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, this doesn't make sense, because this is the perfect amount of time for a chicken to incubate and hatch. But I know personally that there were only turkeys, and we were so confused. And then we realized this is the only thing that could have happened, is that when we moved Henny May from the general population with the turkeys and the chickens into her special, you know, motherhood pen or whatever, then we realized that she had to have stolen chicken eggs in her wings. And so it turns out there was 3 of them. 1 did not hatch. 2 of them did. So of course, you know, we love to see the little babies, and we're like, okay, but then that created a problem because mamas will sit on their eggs for a little bit after hatch, but basically they get everything together and they move on, and they're done with the hatching phase. And anything that may hatch later, even if it is a little baby, is considered a threat. And well, you don't want to be on the bad end of a mama turkey. And so Joy and I were like, well, shoot, what are we going to do? Because we want mama turkey to raise the baby turkeys, but mama turkey stole these baby chicken eggs and has the baby chickens. And so at that time we had one of our chickens, her name is Donald. And so we had Donald, who was broody and had been broody for a while, and I had kind of let her be. Being broody, for those who don't know, is when a bird, whether a chicken, turkey, whatever, has decided the hormones have kicked in and they want to raise out the eggs into babies. And so what they'll do is they'll take the feathers off of their stomach, so that way they can sit on the eggs and heat them up, and their whole body will warm up and they become territorial, aggressive, protective, I guess is the better word. And it's very obvious, you know, when a hen is broody. But so Donald, our chicken, she had been broody, and she just seemed like she would be such a great mama. So I let her stay broody, so in case I needed help with the turkey eggs, because we always prefer for mama to raise the babies. And so we were really concerned that mama turkey's stolen chicken eggs that turned into chickens, that mama turkey was going to be done with the egg sitting before the actual baby turkeys were born. And so we're like, okay, we'll just check several times a day and we'll try and see like what's going on or whatever. And lo and behold, that happened. So at night, I think it was like a couple days, I think 25-ish days in, and we realized that mama turkey was not feeling sitting on the baby chickens or the baby turkey eggs, whatever, anymore. And so obviously we need to get them under a new mama. In comes Donald, our buff Orpington hen. So now we take mama and we put the turkey eggs under mama chicken, and the baby chickens are under mama turkey. And so, but the turkey eggs still have a couple more days. And so after a little bit of time, we did have 3 that hatched and 1 that didn't make it through the hatch. And so now all of that to say is that I have a turkey raising chickens and a chicken raising turkeys, and they imprint. I mean, I thought about potentially swapping them or something, but I didn't really want to mess with them too much. So it just seems so funny. Like, and it was stressful because I was worried about, you know, each of the mamas, you know, taking in the babies or whatever. But yeah, so again, turkey, my Henny May turkey is raising 2 chickens, 2 little chicken eggs, or 2 little chicks, sorry. And my chicken, Donald, she's raising 3 little baby turkeys. And so it's pretty interesting and cute. So I just wanted to share that story with you because it was so funny. And especially a lot of you have been following and know my love of turkeys. And this was my first time hatching turkeys. So I was so incredibly excited actually my first time hatching chickens too. Last year we hatched out ducks, and I was just so excited for my grand turkeys, as I call them. But then when they showed up, and I was like, these are not turkeys. Like, where did you get these baby chickens? And so that made me like a fraud, and Henny May a kidnapper. So yeah, so turkey stole the chicken eggs, is raising chickens. They're doing excellent. Mama chicken she was gifted, of course, the turkey eggs, and she's raising them, and she is so gorgeous. On Instagram, actually, I've posted quite a few videos showing them, and they're so cute. But I do have grand turkeys now, and I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so I wanted to share this story with you because it was really funny. I don't know if it sounds as funny like retelling it, but it was crazy for us because we were worried at all the different steps if like each mama would accept them, you know, and both of those mamas are first-time mamas. So
yeah, no history to tell.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I did want to give a health update as well. So if you remember, the vertigo thing has been fine. I haven't had any problems with that, which is really great. but I had that like skin infection that was like spreading up my arm. And they were able to stop the spreading with the first round of antibiotics I had, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or whatever. But the actual site like wasn't healing. And so I went back to the doctor, and they were really concerned that it was MRSA, which that's what they were concerned the first time. But they did a culture the first time and it came back negative, and they did end up doing a culture the second time and it came back negative for staph and MRSA, negative for both. So they don't know what it is, but they did give me another round of antibiotics, which I don't love, but obviously I'm taking them, but I don't love it. But they gave me another round of antibiotics, but one that is specifically for MRSA because they didn't have the results back yet. And so that really, it just made my stomach hurt. And it came with all these rules. Like I can't eat like 3 hours before my pill. I can't eat 2 hours after my pill. I can't have any iron, calcium, or zinc, which by the way, everything has at least 3. Like even I have these little like licorice bites that I really love, and apparently they have a lot of iron. I was like, come on. And so I'm basically starving to death, you guys. Like I've got oat milk in my coffee, which I do like, but it's, at first I couldn't even have it because if it was too acidic and my stomach would get so, there's a baby bunny out of the cabbage. Can you go scare the bunny?
Yeah.
We just chase bunnies that end up in the garden. I know we need to get a fence, the logistics and time and cost and all of that stuff. But so basically us running, like throwing our hands in the air is kind of our temporary, like how we deal with that. But eventually we'll get like a nice fence and stuff. I actually have a question for you guys. If you know, we were thinking of doing the 2x4, like where the little square or rectangles, I guess, are 2 inches wide by 4 inches. And I was trying to think if rabbits would get through that or not. If you guys have used that for rabbit protection, let me know. Like we thought about using chicken wire, but we have such a large area to fence. And so I think it's more economical to use the 2x4, but I want to make sure that it actually works for rabbits. But anyway, so if you have feedback on that, please let me know. But yeah, so my arm, so then the doctor said that if it doesn't start to go down, that they were going to remove it like surgically. And it was like 1 inch, like, cause there's a hard mass like underneath like the infection or whatever. And it's about like 1 inch, like diameter all around. But the thing is, to remove it, they have to cut like 2 to 3 times like bigger or whatever. And they said that it's like right next to the muscle, and like if I'd have to lose some of the muscle. And I was like, I can't have this. And he's like, well, start this new heavy duty antibiotic and email me in 4 days to see if, to see if you're doing better. And I was like, okay. And I was like really hopeful, praying, all that stuff. I just wanted, I didn't feel good. I felt very weak. And it was my like, I've had so many setbacks. Like I've never had any health problems like in my life. And then I've just had like, there was the broken ankle, the kids got COVID, we didn't get it, and then there was the vertigo, that was terrible, and then a couple rounds of the infection in my arm, and I'm behind, I haven't got my farm stand up yet, and though we're getting wood delivered today, thank you, Hamilton's Lumber, not thank you, but for the delivery, because otherwise we just shove like pieces of wood in the back of the SUV and go back and forth 100 times, but anyways, and so the first day I took it and I didn't notice a difference. Second day I didn't notice a difference. Third day I didn't really notice a difference. And on the 4th day, which is the day I was supposed to email the doctor an update, and I noticed a teeny bit of difference. But I also changed like because he told me to always have heat on my arm, or not always, but several times a day, to like help the body absorb it or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me, but obviously I do whatever is asked. And so, but I was doing like heat more localized. Like I put rice into a sock and had it like right over my arm, and like, cause it's right above my, my elbow, like where it creases. So it's like right there. And so I started wrapping my whole arm. I have like a really long heating pad for my back after farming. And like I would like wrap it. I call it like baking my arm. But I would wrap that, and I noticed in the evening of the 4th day, which was like my last day in like the trial period or whatever, and it started to actually decrease. And I was like, because it's just been like, I just want to get back to farming, and I want to be in my garden, and I want to not have problems, like thank you to Joy, who's been like running around like a mad woman, like doing everything for me. Like I really appreciate that, you know, like, and then the next day it looked a lot better. And like every day since, because I think I've got one more day of antibiotics.
Yep.
And it looks so much better. I don't know if he's gonna have me come in or anything, but like I'm hoping not to need the surgery. And I want life to get back to normal. This spring's been crazy with like the weather and all that other stuff. So I don't know how it's been for you guys, but here it's been crazy. And now everything's bolting in the garden, like all of the Asian greens and all that stuff. And so just trying to work all that, and you know, and then of course being sick, I missed some waterings and stuff like that. But yeah, so anyways, I wanted to tell you the funny story, and super adorable, by the way, about the mama chicken raising the baby turkeys and the mama turkey raising the baby chickens, and then also give updates and stuff. I know I didn't get a video out at all last week. I apologize about that. One thing I will say though is make sure with your garden, and I'll make a video about this, but coming up, it's interesting when you think about like the fall gardening, winter gardening, over winter, like harvesting in the spring or anything like that. I think a lot of people think, like, oh, okay, plant in October, September, even into November, because the weather is similar to how it is now. But the thing is that that's not the case. So if you're looking to like, for instance, cauliflowers and stuff like that, for your fall harvest, like we're coming close, like between like early June, mid-June. So I guess it depends on the weather and stuff and your DTM for your stuff. But basically you want to start thinking now, like in the month of June is where between probably like beginning of June to like mid-July, that's where a lot of your planting for your overwintering crops, like that's when you do it. And that's really, really important, because if you wait too long, they're not going to get to the right time. And then you also want to think, are you wanting to harvest in the fall or overwinter? Because those would be different plantings. If you're harvesting the fall, obviously you want it to be ready in the fall. If you're overwintering, you want it big enough going into the winter so that it survives, but also not big enough that it's like producing, because the cauliflower won't hold a cauliflower over the winter. You want to get it to where it's close and then have it over winter, and in the spring it just pops open. So, but I'll do a video about that, or I guess probably a couple, and take you along with my journey and stuff, and carrots and all that. But just to be thinking about that in your garden and make sure that you're saving room, because I know it's so easy to fill everything up. Or think about your rotations. Like if you have lettuce coming out pretty soon, that might be a good place to plant some carrots for the fall or to overwinter. But anyways, this is Christy.
This is Joy. Hi.
Joyful. Which one do you prefer?
Joyful.
Joyful. That's what I thought. I always call her Joy, but she prefers Joyful, so I need to be better at that. But anyways, thank you for watching. And I hope you love the story about the cute little babies. And I'll post some pictures on the community page of the babies, because they're so cute. But anyways, have a great Saturday. And it's supposed to rain later on tonight, so if you're going to get anything in, like seeds or whatever, get those in. But okay, bye.